know I'm right. And you know what we need? A political revolution.
Hey Gophers, I'm Alex with GTV, and this is GTV's Between Two Gophers. I'm here with Joelle Stangler. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
So I'm kind of wondering, first off, where did you go to high school, your background, what did you do in high school?
I grew up about a half hour north of here in Rogers, Minnesota, and that's where I went to high school. I did Knowledge Bowl. That was fun. Those were good times. It was every weekend. You wake up at like 6 a.m. and then you drive and answer questions about things nobody should know about.
Can you remember any questions that were like, what?
I can't, not like specifically, but there would be rounds on like plants. Like 50 questions about plants.
What would they ask you?
No idea. I was just the buzzer. I was like very, very quick at buzzing. So, and then I did student government there too. That was my rise.
Okay.
Like the slow rise.
So when you went to the U, were you like, the day that you were at the U, you were like, all right, I'm gonna do this?
Yeah, I went to the Explore U Fair, and I picked up one of everything, and really was torn between applying for the Minnesota Daily internship and applying for the student government internship, which was stupid. I should have just applied for both, but turned to my roommate. I was like, this is life defining. I need to pick one. And she's like, flip a coin. And I flipped a coin and it landed on the Daily, and I was like, I'm gonna do student government instead. And she was like, you are effing with fate right now.
Well,
you are messing with fate.
Yeah, I know, you know how everybody says if you're wondering between two things, flip a coin, and that'll tell you what you actually want. Because if it lands on the thing, one thing, you're like, all right, I actually want to do the other one.
Yep.
So that's kind of what happened for
That
you?
is 100% what happened, and then I went with it, and was like, if I messed with fate, I need to stick it out.
Yeah.
Through the whole time.
And are you happy with your decision?
Yeah. No, I am. It's good.
Okay. Cool. Awesome. So you're student body president.
Yep.
So where did you start freshman year?
So I started as an intern, and as an intern, you just do all of the work that everybody else doesn't want to do.
Okay.
So you do emails, spreadsheets, like practically mail sorting, but less glamorous than that. And so then I started there. We passed medical amnesty my freshman year as a law, which was super cool, and then I stuck it out since then.
Okay.
I was an intern coordinator, so I ran a program of about a dozen interns, and then I was the rep to the Board of Regents, which just means you hang out with all the old white dudes who run the school. It's real.
Yeah.
And then I moved into being president, so then I did 2 terms.
What are the challenges of being student body president?
This place is really complicated. It's really messy. It's hard to get people to agree on anything, and you have a lot of people who like to say no.
Okay.
Well, it's a lot of schmoozing when people say what do you do? And I'm emails and schmooze. That's become a catchphrase within our office.
Okay.
It's oh, what does it take to be president? You're you email and schmooze people.
What did you want to be as a kid? Did you always want to be in politics? Or?
So I've always wanted, I always as a kid wanted to be a teacher. My parents are teachers. My grandma's a teacher. My mom's line goes back 6 generations of teachers. So I always wanted to be a social studies teacher. But I had a lot of teachers saying, we do this work so that you don't do this work. And they're we try to make you better than us. And so it was always ingrained in my head, don't be a teacher. But I've since decided I want to do politics, but I hope to retire from politics at 55 and then spend the last 10 years of working life in the classroom. So phase out of retirement and teach.
Okay. What makes you a Bernie supporter over a Hillary supporter?
I really respect the work Hillary's done. I think what bothers me is the argument that you have to vote, or you should vote for Hillary because she's who's electable. And I think if we're in a age of politics where we choose who's electable over who matches our moral conscience, we're not making the right decision. And so I think his record is impressive. I've met him, actually.
Bernie?
I met him when I went to the State of the last winter.
You're kidding.
No, I did.
Wait, tell me about it.
So I was Senator Franken's guest at the State of the Union, and we're in this dinner. There's no phones allowed, so I don't have any documentation of this. It's just all in my memory.
Okay.
And he's like, who do you want to meet? Who do you want to meet? And I was like, oh, Elizabeth Warren. And he's like, how about Bernie Sanders? And I was like, that sounds good too.
Yeah.
And this is before he was running for office, and I go up and I sit down next to him. Franken leaves, and I'm alone at a table with Bernie Sanders, and he's chowing down, not he has introduced himself, but he's not this is normal. He's eating in front of me, which I thought was sort of weird. And I was like, oh, Senator Sanders, I love the work that you've done and the activism you've had on climate change. I think you're so impressive. And he turns and he deadpans and he says, you people are the reason we lost the Senate. And I was like, me people? Me personally? My friends? Who are you talking about? And he said, no, I mean young people. If you turned out to vote, we wouldn't have lost the Senate. And I was like, I think that's a really important point. And then I kid you not, he said, I know I'm right. And you know what we need? A political revolution. He legitimately held his hand up for so long that I felt uncomfortable enough that I held my hand up. His is up like that.
And he's probably more like this.
He pauses, and then I'm like, yeah, real, I'm doing it too. And then we were like chit-chatting, whatever. Franken comes back, I leave. And then the best part was when we were all standing up to get shuffled out, all the senators leave, and then you're kind of with all the like, you know, average like plebeians, you know, all the normal people, and you're like shuffling around. And someone was like, oh, are you enjoying your time? And I was like, yeah, I really am. And they're like, have you met anyone cool? And I said, I just got to meet Senator Sanders.
Bernie Sanders.
Said, what did you think? And I was like, he is radical and kind of odd. I was like, I didn't really know what to say to him. I was like, and also he blamed young people for losing the Senate, and this woman's nodding, and she's got this smirk on her face, and I'm like, why is she not responding? And she just goes, oh, sweetie. And I was like, what? She's like, well, #1 rule in Washington is you need to know who you're talking to before you start talking. And I was like, okay. And she's like, I'm Senator Sanders' wife. I was like, oh, yeah.
Wait.
No, it was super good. And then I'm like backtracking, like, oh, he's really impressive.
How did you recover from that?
I just was like, I really appreciate the work. She's like, it's fine. You're right. He's radical.
I'm just going to ask you like a few like get to know you questions.
Okay.
So I love karaoke. If you were to walk into, you know, karaoke night on a Wednesday night, what song would you sing?
This is like legit. I sang Shaggy, Wasn't Me.
That's a popular one I've
All
noticed
the time?
at karaoke.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
Is it?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it is.
I don't know the words though, so it gets like past the chorus, and then it's like a sort of like, you know, like bits and pieces.
Well,
of
that
the
one
words,
part that's like, no.
Yeah, I'm really good at that part.
No, oh, wait, are you like? Do you know any of it?
No, I know like some of the words, but no, that's like my go-to. And sometimes like I went to I've started. You know that a song is like not cool anymore when they've like phased it out of karaoke. Ooh. Like, we don't have that. I'm like, are you sure you don't have it?
They say that about It Wasn't Me? You're kidding.
Yeah, no, a few places haven't had it.
Oh my gosh, that's like one that you just have to have.
Yep.
Perfect Friday night. Today is Thursday. Friday night. What is your perfect Friday night?
By myself or with other people?
Both. Give me both.
By myself. Oh, I really like my roommates aren't home, and then I like sing to myself. Like I literally
what do you
will
sing?
Anything. I will like it's a very or drive. So I like will do one of the two things. Like I like to sit at home and sing anything. It's kind of weird by myself.
No, that's not weird.
Or,
I mean, whatever.
I really like driving around the city, so I didn't have a car my freshman year, and I legitimately got in our car just to drive by myself. And so my roommates would be like, oh, where are you going? I'd be like, I'm just going to go hang out with people. Yeah. No, I would go get a zip car, like our car, and I would just drive around by myself. So I would do those two things by myself, and then, I don't know, I've been like trying to see a lot of the local breweries or like local shows. I just joined the Minneapolis Film Society, and I like want to make it to more of their local shows and like see those productions. So that's probably what I would do with other people.
Awesome.
I think I might be an introvert, and it could just be the fact that I have to be around people a lot. But I think I might actually be an introvert.
Do you think you've always been an introvert?
I don't know. This job made me an introvert.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
And like, what is your way? You know, if you're stressed out about something, what is your way to relax?
I don't know. I like. People know what I do. I call people, and they pick up the phone, and I just start venting about things. Or, like, ranting, usually about, wow, I rant about the university a lot. This has been a very eye-opening interview. That's usually what I do.
Awesome. Well, this is the part of the interview. It's a little special.
Okay.
What we do is we dance it off.
No, I'm literally not going to do this.
You did
not want me. No.
You cannot dance. That's part of it. Like, you can literally look like a weirdo. I look like a weirdo. Just like do a little bit of this.
I hate you all.
A little bit of that.
You got it. You got it.